Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm showing you how to achieve this quick and easy spring makeup look inspired by Supermodel Rosie Huntington. I believe this makeup look was done by Patrick Ta. I saw it scrolling on Pinterest and I just immediately was like, I need to recreate this. Everything I use in today's video will be listed down below, so don't forget to check that out there. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. But yeah, let's get right into it. Since we're going for such a glowy base, I'm going to prep my skin using the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter, and this works so beautifully as a primer. It just makes the skin so glowy, adds a little bit of warmth to the skin, which I really like, and just lays so beautifully under makeup. I'm just applying a nice even layer of that and then blending it into the skin using my Hourglass foundation brush. So I know we already have a nice glow going on, but I want to add even more glow, and I'm going in with the Makeup Forever HD Skin Hydro Glow Foundation, and these foundations are so glowy, and I don't typically like foundations that much, especially for a light, airy makeup, but these foundations are so easy to build. You can get a very light coverage, you can build it up to a medium coverage, but the way they glow and sit on the skin is just so gorgeous in my opinion. They look like skin. This is definitely going to be one of those products that I'm reaching for a lot this spring. I just think it gives the most beautiful hydrated look to the skin without looking heavy at all. By the way, I'm mixing the shades 1N06 and 1N00. So now I'm going to add a little bit of warmth to the face because we want to look a little sun-kissed. It's springtime. We're spending more time out in the sun, but I currently do not look like that, so let's add a little tan, shall we? Obviously, I'm going in with my Say Sun Melt Cream Bronzer, but this time I'm using the shade Light Bronze, and typically I believe I use the shade Fair Bronze, but I wanted to go in with something a little bit darker today just because we're doing a springtime makeup. You gotta look a little sun-kissed. The nice thing about this cream bronzer though is that it blends into the skin so beautifully. It really doesn't look too orange or heavy or anything weird like that. It melts into the skin and it looks so natural. I absolutely love this bronzer. It saves me time, it blends beautifully, and it's a clean product, which if you watch my channel, you'll know I'm definitely getting more into clean products these days. But as you can see, I'm really just focusing this product around the perimeter of the face, defining but adding warmth. All right, moving on to blush. I am so excited for this step. This look is very blushy. In the pictures, Rosie has very rosy cheeks, blushy cheeks, and it looks so beautiful. The shade is a very springy pink, and I thought this would be the perfect shade for that. I'm using the shade Sweetie by Say in their Dew Blush, which is my favorite liquid blush. It gives a very dewy and glowy finish, just like we see in the picture, and I think this color is going to be absolutely perfect for spring. But be careful when you're using this because a little goes a long way, so just build your way up till you're happy with it. Okay, so I think I've built up that blush to a point where I'm happy with it. I think I have the blush on standby in case I want to add more later, but for now I'm just going to leave it, finish up the rest of my face, and then see if it could use a touch more later. Now I'm going to go in with concealer, and I'm using the Laura Mercier Weightless Perfecting Concealer in the shade 0N1, and I'm really just using this to add a bit more coverage in the places I need, mainly under my eyes and around my mouth, and on any little spots I just want to cover up. And I'm going to blend that concealer out using a beauty blender. I haven't fully decided if I like this concealer or not yet. It is a little bit heavier than I would typically use, and I haven't found the perfect way to set it, but it does give a really nice coverage and a nice finish. So I'm just going to let that base sit before setting it down, and I'm going to move on to the eyes. Now, in the picture, looks like she doesn't have too much going on the eyes, but they do look a little bit bronzed, a little bit lifted, so that's exactly what we're gonna do. I'm gonna map out my eye shape using the Laura Mercier Caviar Stick Eye Color in the shade Caramel. This is a beautiful transition shade for anyone with fair to light skin. I love using this to map out my crease, and it blends out really, really beautifully, and it is not patchy at all. This is honestly one of my top favorite makeup products at the moment. I just think it is so useful. You can use it to contour, and you can also kind of use it as an eye primer as well. Once I've kind of laid down that color and blended it out like 80–90%, I'm gonna go in with the clean blending brush and just run that over that cream shadow. All right, so now we have our general sort of shape mapped out, and now we're gonna start building depth. Rosie's eye look is a touch darker than I think I wanna go, but I am gonna go in with my Makeup by Mario Master Matte palette. And I think I'm gonna stick in this kind of range on her eyes. It's a little bit of a warm, ready kind of look, but I typically go for shades like this, but we're gonna go a little bit darker. We're gonna use these two shades here. I'm gonna pick up those two shades on a Rephr 13 brush, and I'm just gonna begin to place that color on the outer corner, and then in the crease, I'm really being very careful with this, just kind of patting this in, being very, very light-handed. You do not wanna go overboard with this. This is a very simple eye look. Every now and then, take your clean blending brush and just sweep it over top to get a very airbrush seamless blend. Okay, so you see the depth on this eye versus this eye. It's very subtle. It's not too much. It just adds a little bit of warmth and a little bit more structure to the eye, and it also sets down that cream base that we applied so it lasts all day long. Now I'm gonna start going in with my all over lid shade, and this is actually a discontinued Dior palette. I'm using this deeper highlight shade for my all over lid color, but you can use any kind of bronzy shade that you want. I just love this one, and I wish it wasn't discontinued. Dior, please bring back the Backstage Contour palette. I love it so much. But I'm just taking that on a flat brush and then going in and applying that all over the lid. In the picture, it looks like Rosie's wearing a little bit of a black liner, very tight to her lashes, nothing crazy, no winged liner, nothing like that. So I'm going in with the Pat McGrath Labs Legendary Wear Velvet Kohl Eyeliner, and I'm using a very teeny tiny angled brush, and I'm going to be pressing that into my lash line very, very softly, and then blending it out with a very tiny little blending brush, really just smudging it right into my lashes. I don't even really want it to look like eyeliner. I just want to define the lash line a little bit. It's going to make my lashes look longer, and it's going to make the eye look a little bit more defined looking as well. So you see how subtle that liner is? It's definitely not a winged liner, but it's just enough to define the eyes, to give it a little bit of smokiness, a little bit of sultriness, and enough to also enhance the lashes, which I like. But I don't often wear my liner like this, but I'm kind of liking it. Very, very natural looking. What do you guys think? By the way, if you guys are interested in learning new eyeliner techniques, I am doing a lot of eye focused looks over on my private community. It's called Benko Beauty Academy, and it is completely free to join. I do live masterclasses on there every single Friday. I'm basically just giving you all of my professional makeup artist knowledge so that you guys can get better at makeup. So if you're interested, just click the link in my description and I would love to see you there. So this step is optional, but if you do want to add a little bit more intensity, it does make a big difference. I'm going in with the Huda Beauty Longwear Eye Pencil in the shade Very Vanta, and I'm just dragging it right on that tight line. And it just makes such a subtle difference, but it really ties the eyes together. I feel like it kind of gives it that professional looking touch. It just looks very black and uniform along the lash line. Now I'm going to go ahead and set under the eyes. I'm using my Givenchy Prisme Libre powder, and this one is a little bit more on the pinky side, so it's going to go really nicely with the blush we applied. But I'm just going in with the Huda Beauty Powder Puff and just pressing that right into my under eyes, making sure you pat out that concealer beforehand so you don't set those creases in. Now that the under eyes are set, I'm going to go ahead and finish my lower lash line. I'm just going to use that same combination of colors here and run that all along my lower lash line very lightly and softly. Now Rosie has quite a distinct highlight in her inner corner. It's a little bit on the pinky side, so I thought this one would be perfect for that. This is the Pat McGrath Divine Blush Bronze and Glow Trio in the shade Forever Nude. And this highlight is absolutely perfect. It's got a little bit of pink, but it's still very light and blinding, and it will definitely leave an impact. So I'm just gonna take my pencil brush and pat that on my inner corners. I was expecting that to be a little bit more bright, but I'm not mad at it. It still looks good. I'm gonna move on to mascara. Obviously, I'm using my favorite mascara ever. This is the Lancome Lash Idol Mascara. This is such a good mascara. I really just can't say enough good things about it. I'm linking it down below if you want to try the most beautiful mascara ever. This isn't even sponsored. I just am obsessed with this mascara, especially for lighter makeup looks that I don't want my lashes to look too volumized and clumpy. I really just want my lashes to look lengthened, separated, and curled. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but my lashes look perfect. No clumps. They're so uniform and separated. Ugh, I'm just obsessed. I honestly have used very few mascaras that compare. Now let's move on to lips. I am going to be using my Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk lip liner to define and overline my lips so we have a nice, juicy, but natural looking pout. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of lipstick. I'm going in with this one by Charlotte Tilbury, but honestly, I have no idea what the name of it is because this is actually a refill, so I'm just gonna link it in the description box down below. But this looks very similar to what Rosie was wearing, just a very natural, pinky peachy kind of lipstick. I'm just gonna pat this into the lips. I don't want it to look too heavy. I had a feeling I would want more blush, and looking at the makeup now, I do think it would look better with a little bit more blush, and so I'm gonna go in with this Give Feeling Cheeky Amplifying Blush Duo in the shade Lasting Love. This is such a beautiful blush shade. I love mixing these two shades together, especially for spring and summer. This blush is going to be getting used a lot. I am going to be careful with this though because it is very pigmented. So I am just making sure I don't have too much on my brush. And then I'm just going to pat it on my cheeks. And this does have a little bit of shimmer in it, so it's not going to take away from that dewy look. So I do want to just blend that in a little bit more. So I'm just going to take a clean powder brush and just kind of soften that a little bit to make it look a little bit more natural. Okay, I think that's looking pretty good. I do want to add a little bit of highlighter to the cheeks. I'm just going to use the same Pat McGrath one, and I'm going to run that on my cheekbones here. I just feel like something is missing. I think I'm gonna add a little bit of that cream blush on the lip, just a little bit. Just using the same Say Cream Blush. So I think that's it for this quick and easy spring inspired makeup. What do you guys think? I personally love the way this looks. It's perfect for every day, but also it's good for like photo shoots or bridesmaids vibes or anything like that, anything a little bit special. This makeup would totally work as well. But yeah, let me know what you think down in the comment section, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.